describe to me what Dawn did with the knife.
She grabbed hold of it and she swung the arm, I suppose. He was pushing her.
Okay. So Dawn were close at this
They
stage.
were pretty close, yeah. I mean, they were within arm's length,
Okay.
kind of thing. She was like, kind of just swung.
You're sort of indicating a downward motion.
Yeah, just, yeah.
Okay.
That's the handle, so she did it like that.
Okay.
She just, and I just jumped straight in and grabbed hold of it. Grabbed the blade.
Okay.
And I didn't want to let go of it because I didn't want to hurt me anymore and I didn't want to hurt. So I held as tight as I could and shoved her away and she let go. And then I took it out of my hand because my hand hurt. She come back at me again and she was really angry. And I swung because I wanted her to stop.
Okay. And describe how you swung.
I just...
Okay.
Right, so Robert, the time is 8:44.
Yeah.
All right. I'm arresting on suspicion of murder at Dawn Rhodes on the 2nd of June 2016.
Oh, no way.
This is a rearrest of an offence for which you were charged and acquitted in court in 2017. All right. We have the power to arrest you on suspicion of this murder from the Director of Public Prosecutions, who has given his consent to reinvestigate the murder on the double jeopardy provisions.
First question to you, in relation to this larger matter, why we're here, is tell me everything about your plan to kill your wife, Dawn Rhodes.
No comment.
Where it talks about that there was a plan to kill your wife, Dawn. From what you've seen so far, is that a true record of the plan that you had with to kill your wife?
No comment.
Now, if it's not true, from what you've read so far, tell me the bits that you dispute about that.
No comment.
Because it would be helpful if you could, Robert.
No comment.
I think probably what's the most difficult thing for us to understand, and hopefully you can help us with that, is why, after all these years, has come forward and said this now?
No comment.
I mean, it's a strange thing for someone to say, isn't it now, and remember. Why is that? I'm trying to get my head around it.
No comment.
Do you understand it?
No comment.
Sure. Do you know something that we don't know?
No comment.
Because if you do, it's the time to tell us now, Robert.
No comment.
Help us understand why would say this level of detail, that there was a plan and that you told you were going to kill Mum that night. Why did you say that?
No comment.
Robert, I just want to go through with you what the evidence now suggests happened, and I want to ask you directly whether this is true and accurate, or if you can assist us, and anything you want to add in relation to that. As a result of now, and I was re-examining the case, we know you told while Dawn was upstairs reading that night that you were going to kill Dawn. That's right, isn't it?
No comment.
I suggest to you that there was no argument in the kitchen, as you've said previously. You were both calm, talking in the kitchen. Dawn came down, having read the story. Also in the kitchen. It was a calm environment, wasn't it?
No comment.
The plan was put in motion. It was a well-established plan. You drummed this into the course of that car journey days before, didn't you?
No comment.
You'd already reiterated to Dawn was upstairs that tonight was the night that it was going to happen. You gave a wide-eyed look. You nodded your head. Dawn closed her eyes and put her hands out, didn't she?
No comment.
I'm Libby Clark. I'm a specialist prosecutor with the CPS in the South East. Robert Rhodes thought that he'd got away with murder after he killed his wife Dawn in 2017. Thanks to the bravery of the child witness in coming forward in this case, he has now been convicted of the murder of Dawn Rhodes. Dawn's voice has now been heard. The new evidence in this case showed just how much careful planning Rhodes had put into murdering Dawn, making it appear to the original jury as if he had acted in self-defence, when in fact nothing could have been further from the truth. He persisted with this throughout the trial. Double jeopardy cases are exceptionally rare, and applications to quash acquittals are only made in the most serious of cases. It is never easy to prosecute these cases, and everyone involved at the Surrey Police and the Crown Prosecution Service, both in the South East and in our Appeals and Review Unit, took a careful and detailed approach to examining all the new evidence to ensure that the previous acquittal would be quashed by the Court of Appeal. Our Appeals and Review Unit took the compelling new evidence to the Court of Appeal and argued successfully that the case should be retried. In the light of that, further additional charges were brought by the Crown Prosecutor's Service, reflecting the lies that Robert Rhodes had told at his previous trial. None of us can even begin to imagine what Rhodes put the child witness through over the last few years. As a result of their evidence, everyone now knows the truth. Dawn did not attack Robert Rhodes that night. She was the victim of her violent husband. And we hope that the verdict and the outcome of this case brings some comfort to Dawn's family and friends, and of course to the child witness. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Good afternoon. I am Detective Chief Inspector Kimberley from the Surrey and Sussex Police Major Crime Team and the Senior Investigating Officer for the case involving the murder of Dawn Rhodes. Today, Robert Rhodes was sentenced to 29 years and 6 months for the murder of his wife following an 8-week retrial at the Crown Court sitting at Inner London. Rhodes was originally acquitted of the murder of his wife Dawn in 2017, but was subsequently found guilty on the 12th of December 2025 after new evidence came to light which resulted in the retrial. Rhodes was also found guilty of child cruelty, perverting the course of justice, and 2 counts of perjury. I would like to extend my heartfelt condolences to the family and friends of Dawn Rhodes. The loss that they have suffered is immeasurable and cannot be underestimated. They have had to deal with the fact that Robert Rhodes got away with murder for 9 years, all the while knowing the misery and suffering that he had inflicted on Dawn, not just on the night that he killed her, but also leading up to her death. I must also pay tribute to the child and their tremendous bravery in coming forward years after Dawn's death to tell the truth about what happened. It should be acknowledged that the child was under the age of criminal responsibility at the time of Dawn's death, and that they were not responsible for the acts that Rhodes manipulated them into doing. The realisation that they were complicit in Dawn's death and coming forward to set the record straight 9 years later is nothing short of extraordinary. The fact that Rhodes not only murdered his wife in cold blood, but then manipulated and groomed a child to play a part in his evil scheme and cover up what he'd done is simply despicable. Not only did he take a life, he irreparably damaged another, as well as the lives of anyone else and everyone else who loved Dawn. During the first trial, Dawn was portrayed as the villain, but she had actually been a victim of domestic abuse and coercive control at the hands of her husband for years. Dawn's tragic death draws attention to the need to dispel and challenge myths and stereotypes around who may or may not be victims of domestic abuse, and who indeed may be capable of causing such harm. Otherwise, many victims will feel unable to reach out and will continue to suffer in silence while those causing harm in relationships are able to exist unchecked. We would urge anyone who believes they or a friend or family member may be experiencing abuse to report it. If you have any concerns at all for yourself or a loved one, please seek help. In Surrey and across the country, there are specialist domestic abuse services working to ensure that survivors and their families and friends can access independent advice and support in confidence. I would like to extend my thanks to the investigation team for their tireless work in leaving no stone unturned to ensure that Rhodes was brought to justice. A very special mention must also be made to the family liaison officers who went above and beyond what would be expected of them to assist the families throughout this investigation. I would like to thank our partner agencies, particularly the Crown Prosecution Service, for their support and advice, the witnesses who assisted in giving evidence which helped to bring out the truth of the events from 2016, helping to piece together Robert Rhodes' web of deceit, and the jury for their careful consideration of the evidence which has been presented throughout this trial. Thank you very much.
I shall now summarise the sentence which you will receive and what it means for you. For the murder of Dawn Rhodes, I pass the only sentence which the law allows me to pass, being life imprisonment. You will remain in custody until the parole board decides that you are suitable to be considered for release. The shortest period of time during which you must remain in custody is 29 years and 6 months, less the number of days which you have spent remanded in custody, including in relation to the related offences charged by counts 2 and 3. I have been told that, as at today's date, that period is agreed as being 590 days. Therefore, the minimum term which I impose in your case is 27 years and 321 days. I remind you that there is no guarantee that you will in fact be released at the end of that period or at any later time, and that if and when you are released, you will remain subject to licence for the rest of your life and may be recalled to continue your life sentence if you reoffend or fail to comply in any other way with the conditions of your licence. For your offence of cruelty to a child, I impose a sentence of 6 years and 9 months imprisonment to run concurrently with the sentence imposed on count 1 and with all other sentences. For your offence of perverting the course of justice, I impose a custodial sentence of 6 years and 9 months to run concurrently with the sentence imposed on count 1 and with all other sentences. For your offence of perjury in 2017, I impose a custodial sentence of 4 years to run concurrently with the sentence imposed on count 1 and with all other sentences. For your offence of perjury in 2018, I impose a custodial sentence of 3 years to run concurrently with the sentence imposed on count 1 and with all other sentences. In light of the sentence imposed on count 1, you will not benefit from the early release provisions which would otherwise apply to the sentence imposed on each of counts 2 to 5. Therefore, the total sentence which I impose is one of life imprisonment with a minimum term of 27 years and 321 days, taking account of the time which you have spent on remand. The prosecution contends that you have benefited substantially from your criminal conduct, from your wife's estate and the proceeds of certain life insurance policies. An order prohibiting disposal of assets was made by Guildford Crown Court on the 28th of February 2025. In due course, the prosecution will seek a confiscation order relating to such wealth as remains and represents realisable assets. In that connection, I have made agreed orders and directions under the Proceeds of Crime Act 2002. For that reason, no order is made at this stage for compensation or for payment and collection of a victim surcharge, an order for forfeiture and destruction of the knife was made at an earlier stage. That is all.